The history of Egypt spans over 5,000 years, making it one of the oldest civilizations in the world.
Here's an overview of Egypt's major historical periods.
Egypt's earliest inhabitants lived along the Nile River as early as 7000 BCE. By 4000 BCE, Neolithic communities had developed, practicing farming, pottery, and toolmaking. Around 3100 BC, King Narmer, sometimes identified with Menes, united Upper and Lower Egypt, establishing the first dynasty. The city of Memphis became the political capital. The foundations for Egyptian society, religion, and writing, hieroglyphics, were laid during this period. Egypt flourished again, with a strong central government and expansion of trade. Pharaohs like Mentuhotep II and Senusret III led military campaigns into Nubia and promoted art, literature, and architecture. Agricultural advancements improved life, but by the end of the 13th dynasty, the central authority weakened again. Egypt flourished again, with a strong central government and expansion of trade. Pharaohs like Mentuhotep II and Senusret III led military campaigns into Nubia and promoted art, literature, and architecture. Agricultural advancements improved life, but by the end of the 13th dynasty, the central authority weakened again. The Old Kingdom is often called the Age of the Pyramids.
During this time, Pharaoh Khufu constructed the Great Pyramid of Giza, a testament to the engineering genius and divine power attributed to the pharaohs.
Rulers were seen as gods on earth, wielding absolute control over both the state and the heavens. Long before the Great Pyramids or the mighty pharaohs, Egypt's earliest inhabitants settled along the fertile banks of the Nile. As early as 7000 BCE, they began cultivating the land, paving the way for one of the world's earliest known civilizations. It was in 3100 BCE that the legendary King Narmer united Upper and Lower Egypt, marking the dawn of the early dynastic period. With the city of Memphis as its capital, the kingdom began laying the foundations of a complex and enduring society.
Here, the first hieroglyphic scripts were etched into stone, recording Egypt's history for eternity. Out of the chaos emerged the Middle Kingdom, under the reign of Pharaoh Mentuhotep II.
Egypt was reunited, and this period saw a revival of art, culture, and monumental construction. The pharaohs were now seen as benevolent shepherds of the people, rather than distant gods.
Under the new kingdom, Egypt entered its golden age.
Powerful pharaohs like Thutmose III, Hatshepsut, and Ramses II expanded Egypt's influence far beyond its borders, creating an empire that stretched from Nubia to the Levant. It was a time of military conquest, cultural flourishing, and the construction of grand monuments, including the famous tombs in the Valley of the Kings. Pharaoh Akhenaten sought to change Egypt forever, introducing a monotheistic worship of the sun disk, Aten, and abandoning the traditional gods of Egypt. His reign was revolutionary, but short-lived. After his death, Egypt quickly returned to its old ways under the boy king, Tutankhamun. Despite the glories of the new kingdom, Egypt eventually declined. Over the centuries, it would fall to foreign powers, including the Nubians, Assyrians, and Persians. Egypt remained a shadow of its former self, ruled by a succession of foreign kings. With the fall of the Roman Empire, Egypt saw the rise of Christianity, and later, Islam after the Arab conquest in 641 CE. Cairo, the city of 1,000 minarets, became the new cultural and political heart of Egypt under Islamic rule, a center of learning and commerce in the medieval world. And so, Egypt, the gift of the Nile, remains an eternal land where history lives and breathes. And so, Egypt, the gift of the Nile, remains an eternal land where history lives and breathes.